Welcome, spiritual hustlers, to 53 Days of Mindfulness with xoandhustle, presented by Self-Hired. I am so excited to have you here. We're about to spend the next 53 days together sharing and dropping knowledge on how to bring spirituality to your grind so you can balance your growth with your hustle. This series is based off the Mindfulness Deck, an actionable 55 card deck designed to take you on a journey of self-understanding, healing, and habit building. The Mindfulness Deck is now available for pre-order at xoandhustle.com. And remember, I love hearing your breakthroughs, so make sure you join the conversation online at xoandhustle on Instagram. All right, let's get into it. Today's episode is brought to you by Delush CBD. Delush is a holistic lifestyle company that infuses hemp CBD into your favorite wellness and skincare products. Since we're all about love and good vibes, Delush CBD products are thoughtfully curated with non-toxic ingredients and are cruelty-free. Every product is handmade with all that love and good. You can use the discount code xoandhustle for 15% off your next order at delush.ca. What up, everybody? On today's episode of 53 Days of Mindfulness, we're talking about setting and respecting your boundaries. Okay, I loved creating this card because I find boundaries really difficult. So in this card, you will see a woman who is standing firm in her truth, holding out her hands while she's beaming out white light, creating a grounded force field of trees around her. She feels empowered, ready, respected, but most importantly, she's honoring her own truth. Setting boundaries is so important, From a young age, we build our boundaries based on the relationships that we see with our parents, with family members, our first interactions with friends, homies, and lovers. And it sets a lifelong pattern for how we engage in relationships. But this is something that we can and may change. So as we develop, we act either from our higher selves based on our growth and our desirability, to be the best, or we act from a place of our trauma, all that stuff that made us feel like we're not good enough from the get-go. If we're acting from trauma when we set our boundaries, then typically we're going to do this in an aggressive, insecure manner and a place of like, I'm not enoughness. And our idea of I'm not enough simply comes from telling ourselves this at a young age when something or someone didn't honor us in that moment. Healthy boundaries, however, honor us and they keep us safe. They help us reflect our truth and our integrity. But most of all, they help us reflect our belief in our worthiness. I feel like often we set boundaries in our relationships and we tell other people like how to respect them and go and respect them. But was I ever in a mad fucking awakening when I realized that like I had to be the first person to respect my boundaries. I recognized this in myself recently, and it was so hard to really see it that I was the one who wasn't respecting the boundaries that I set. And it was pretty crazy. Like I was interested in this guy and he kept bringing up all these like toxic relationship triggers in me. And even though I had the knowledge to like connect and act from my higher self in an enlightened way, I didn't because I was like swimming in my toxic shit. And I realized like, okay, so I had to go and set some boundaries with him. And I expected him to like respect them, but I wasn't reinforcing them. I was still engaging in all the ways that took me out of my power and put me right back into my trauma. And it pushed me to realize that I had to reflect on my own behavior, that I had to respect my own boundaries if I wanted the relationship to transform and transcend. So when you honor your own boundaries, then that becomes a natural set point and the natural baseline for how people treat you. So first things first is I want you to go and research what your attachment style is. This is going to teach you a lot about how do you actually connect to other people. And this is going to teach you actually a lot about yourself and your past, and it's going to help you get through a lot of healing. And it's going to help you honestly figure out what boundaries you need to put up. And then from there, I want you to write a baseline of your non-negotiables, your values. And I want you to legit spit them out to yourself right now. Like literally say, my values are, my boundaries are, and notice what comes up for you. Because whatever comes to the surface first is typically the first thing that's super important to you. The hardest thing isn't always defining our boundaries, but more so acting within them. So remember, these things are daily practices, and it takes you doing it every single day in order to start acting with an integrity and being able to attract the type of people and the energies that you want. Big changes like this don't happen overnight, but they do happen when you are committed to yourself and your consistency, and then you earn your own trust. The first person you always have to commit to and show up for is yourself. The first person you have to show that you're disciplined to is yourself. All right, you got this. I believe in you. Until next time, today's Don't Mind My Hustle affirmation is, may I respect the boundaries I set for myself and for others. Continue strengthening your intuition offline by pre-ordering the Mindfulness Deck at xoandhustle.com. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and share with all your friends so you can all bring spirituality to your hustle. Until next time, keep being the spiritual hustler you already are.